dead. I got dead. I want to change mags. I changed mags.
But unfortunately, they won't let me die.
Quite dead. It's not quite dead.
Joy of joys, I finally got a kill. Thing is though, when you and the enemy have that much firepower, training and fitness can only do so much. This kind of urban warfare is like playing Russian roulette with a machine gun.
When you go into a house like that, you don't know your way around, you don't know how many people are going to be in there, you don't know what rooms they're going to be in. But in this day and age, you can be fairly sure what sort of gun they're going to have.
Since the end of the Second World War, one gun more than any other has established itself as the weapon of choice for revolutionaries, terrorists, and freedom fighters. It's an icon, a timeless classic, a symbol of revolution that's even been included in emblems and flags. It's the Kalashnikov, the AK-47.
With this gun set to fire a single shot, it's a rifle, and I could hit a man 500 yards away, no problem at all. But if I put it into automatic, turn it into a machine gun, well, let's see if I could hit that van, which is about 50 feet away. Here goes. Look at that. Not a single hole. Completely pristine. The bullets went everywhere except where I was aiming. And that's the thing. You see, with a rifle, you can kill one man. But with a machine gun, you can make a whole army keep its head down.
The automat Kalashnikov was designed by a Second World War Russian tank sergeant. Mikhail Kalashnikov was outraged by the imbalance of power between his side's single-shot rifles and the German infantry's automatic weapons. He was determined to provide the Soviet Union with a simple but reliable submachine gun. And he certainly did that.
The beauty of what he came up with in 1947, hence the name AK-47, is the simplicity. It fires at the same rate as a modern machine gun, around 600 bullets a minute. But if we take the back off, look, there's nothing in there. There's nothing to go wrong. You just pull the spring back, and then, when you pull the trigger, some baler twine causes the hammer to go forwards. And look at all the gaps. You could fill this chamber with, I don't know, dust and grit and water and dead rats, and it would still work. That's the thing. An AK-47 can kill almost anything, but it's almost impossible to kill an AK-47.
It was standard issue for the Soviet army, but it soon spread and became the big player in all the hotter parts of the Cold War. The superpowers were fighting their battles by proxy, and the AK's simplicity made it better in the rough-and-tumble dirty wars than the more complex American M16. Soon the world was echoing to the bassy staccato beat of Sergeant Kalashnikov's brainchild. It's claimed that the AK-47 has already killed more people than both atomic bombs. At least 100 million have been produced, which means that every 60th person in the world has got one. It is undoubtedly the most popular gun on Earth.
Now you might think Kalashnikov made a fortune from the AK-47, but actually he didn't make a penny. He lives today on a state pension. But that might change very soon because a German company wants to use his name on one of their products. An umbrella. Right.
It really isn't exaggerating things to say that the Kalashnikov has altered the balance of world power. When your enemy has automatic weapons, it makes it much more daunting for even a superpower like the US to take on a small country like, say, Vietnam or Iraq. As British and American troops have found, urban warfare is the hardest thing in the world if the other side is armed with machine guns.
You see, that's the problem with guns. The power they hand out is indiscriminate. Yes, they give power to the British Army and the police and security guards, but you can buy an AK like this for £60 these days, and that means the power is available to just about everyone.
A man's been shot dead and a woman injured after a gunfight.
8 people have been injured after shots.
In the UK in 1994, there were 68 gun murders. In Germany, there were 380. In Japan, 39. In Switzerland, 36. But in America, the figure was 11,127. Here, where your right to have a gun is enshrined in the Constitution, there are more gun shops than petrol stations. Armed robberies are considered routine. But even the LAPD wasn't prepared for the outcome of a recent bank robbery in North Hollywood.
During the North Hollywood shootout, the initial responding officers, their weapons that they carried were the Beretta 92F 9mm, and in their patrol car, they had a 12-gauge pump shotgun. Now, the reason I bring this up is the 12-gauge pump shotgun is good for about 30 yards at best. What they went up against was a weapon like this that would hold a minimum of a 30-round magazine and is capable of shooting 500 yards with no problem at all. The bullet for this looks like this.
The gunman had AK-47s, handguns, a carload of ammunition and full body armor. So outgunned, the police went shopping.
There was a gun store in the area. That gun store offered to our officers who were in the field a weapon like this that shoots a caliber close to this, so they could compete, they could combat it.
But even so, it took the LAPD 44 minutes to bring one of the gunmen down. The second gunman shot himself. The lesson the police learned was to get bigger guns. When bullets are flying around, what you really need is something to protect you. Kevlar can absorb the bullet from a handgun. But to stop the bullet from a high-velocity rifle, you need solid plates. There is, however, a drawback to these jackets. The protection that soldiers are asked to wear today weighs more than a medieval suit of armour. Small wonder then that so many soldiers replace these Kevlar pads here with pieces of cardboard, especially as, look at this. This is the best disclaimer I have ever seen. Whoa. This armour is not designed to protect the wearer against rifle fire or sharp or pointed implements. What, like a pencil? And I thought a bulletproof vest was bulletproof. But then I thought that a cigarette case in your top pocket was more or less guaranteed to stop a bullet too. Seems not. Hollywood has taught us that petrol explodes when it's shot. It doesn't. We know for a fact that machine gun magazines last for at least the length of the movie. Wrong again. And that the safest place to be in a shootout is behind a car door. Crikey. The sad truth is that being shot is very rarely only a flesh wound.